WWE has filed for Bray Wyatt-related trademarks, and CM Punk and the Elite were referenced on AEW Dynamite. But first, a popular star has made their AEW debut. Last night's AEW Dynamite would open with an appearance from the company's newest signing, Renee Paquette, who has now been added to the broadcast team. This followed the news that she had signed with the company, with it being made official via AEW president Tony Khan. She would welcome her hometown Toronto crowd to the show before bringing out Canadian Christian Cage for a short interview ahead of the match between his muscle Luchasaurus and their former friend Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Renee would then appear multiple times throughout the show in backstage interview segments, with this seemingly confirming her role going forward. Throughout the week, there's been rumors that she was AEW bound, and fans have wondered how she'll be used on television, with some wondering if she'll be added to the commentary booth. Well, Renee was quick to release a brand new episode of her Sessions podcast after her debut, where she had this to say about working as a commentator, and she would note, "I shouldn't say no, but I feel like anyone that just heard you say that probably had the same reaction as me, is like, no thanks, we don't need that, we don't want that." And that's always how I felt about it, which is why I always feel like I have that really quick knee-jerk reaction. I feel like people had such a negative reaction to it, and it was, it just wasn't the thing that I wanted to be. And could it be different in different circumstances? And we know what those circumstances are. Could it be different? Possibly. While Paquette didn't rule out commentary altogether, she did admit that it's not where her passion lies, and she would add, "I don't know, that's the thing that I love doing. Like, if the opportunity made sense and it was something that everyone was on the same page about, like, maybe, but I just don't see that being what I want to do. I don't know. I like doing the TV stuff. I like doing the interviews. I like all that stuff. I think, like, just being the voice during the entire show is just not really my thing." In the past, Renee has been open about her unhappiness during her time as a commentator on Monday Night Raw, with her admitting that she was relieved when she stopped doing it. Whether that will change now that she is in AEW remains to be seen, but for now, expect Renee in interview-style segments going forward. And speaking of surprise appearances, an AEW star made their return on Dynamite. Elsewhere on last night's show, Samoa Joe would make quick work of the Factory's Nick Comoroto and QT Marshall, putting them away in less than 3 minutes in tag team action. This would lead to an appearance from Prince Nana and the Embassy, with Brian Cage insulting both Wardlow and FTR. Dax and Cash would then make their presence known to a huge pop, this before they brought out the returning Shawn Spears, who made his comeback with his Perfect 10 gimmick from NXT in his home nation of Canada, reuniting 4 members of the Pinnacle in the process. Spears would then push Aaron Solo into the ring before FTR hit him with a big rig to end the segment. Spears will now return to in-ring action this Friday on Rampage, with him set to team with FTR to take on the Embassy's Brian Cage and Gates of Agony, with this being taped tonight in Toronto ahead of time. Last night was the first time we've seen Shawn Spears on AEW television since the May 25th edition of Dynamite, this being the episode where Wardlow defeated him in a cage match to earn a match with MJF, who was the special referee. He had recently teased that he was saying goodbye to AEW in a now deleted tweet. However, it's clear that he is still very much still all elite. And next up, a brand new champion was crowned on AEW Dynamite. In the main event of Dynamite, Pac would put his AEW All-Atlantic Championship on the line against freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, with the two having been rivals in recent weeks. The last time the two men would meet in the ring at Dynamite Grand Slam, Pac would use the Timekeeper's hammer whilst the referee was blindsided, this leading to him scoring the 1-2-3 to retain his title. Deja Vu would almost strike again this time around, however Danhausen would intercept him from grabbing the hammer, although the Brit had a backup plan. He would then reach for a hammer that was under the ring, although Cassidy caught him with an orange punch before he could be struck, followed up by yet another orange punch to secure the victory. Orange would then celebrate in the ring with his best friends as confetti poured from the ceiling, with him now earning his first ever AEW title belt in his 3 years with the promotion. Pac has been the All-Atlantic champion since its inception at the Forbidden Door event on June 26th, with him making 6 defenses during his 108-day reign in and outside of AEW. Perhaps we can expect Orange Cassidy to now travel across the world with the belt, much like Pac did, who made 2 defenses in the UK and 1 in Ireland for Rev Pro and OTT respectively. But what do you make of Orange Cassidy's All-Atlantic title win? Let me know in the comments down below. And next up, WWE has filed for Bray Wyatt-related trademarks. This past weekend, Bray Wyatt would make his much-anticipated return to WWE following the White Rabbit mystery that has kept fans talking for weeks. It seems that the mystery still isn't complete, however, with Fightful Select noting that Bray Wyatt's Extreme Rules appearance was just one of the reveals, with many anticipating the reveal of a Wyatt 6 faction consisting of the real-life Firefly Funhouse puppets that appeared on the night. Many names have been speculated to be involved in the group, including Vincent and Dutch of the Ring of Honor faction The Righteous, who were spotted backstage at Monday Night Raw this week. The two men are said to be good friends with Wyatt in real life and have been teasing their involvement in the Wyatt 6 on social media, particularly with this image here, where 6 scratches are marked on the wall behind them. The caption for the image on Instagram also features the numbers 12496, which is in fact the zip code for Windham, New York, with Windham being the real-life name of Bray Wyatt. For those that followed the White Rabbit mystery up until now, this kind of clue won't be new for you. Well, on top of this, it now seems that we know the name of their WWE characters, as the company would recently file for the names Uncle Howdy and Uncle Harper, something that sounds straight out of the Bray Wyatt universe. Of course, Uncle Harper appears to be a nod to the late Brody Lee, who worked in WWE as Luke Harper during his time in the Wyatt family. As for Uncle Howdy, the latest QR code for the White Rabbit mystery that appeared on this past Monday's Raw would take you to a webpage, www.com/howdy, which featured a video of a puzzle being solved with the new Bray Wyatt logo and what appears to be the letters JNV. What those letters mean exactly is still unknown, however it's clear from the URL that howdy is a term set to be used in whatever happens next, perfectly aligning with the recent trademark. It's mere speculation that Harper and Howdy will be played by Dutch and Vincent, however even if it's not them, it's very clear to be somebody else involved with the Wyatt 6. And finally, CM Punk and the Elite were referenced on AEW Dynamite. We are now over 5 weeks removed from the AEW All-Out backstage altercation that led to the suspensions of CM Punk, Ace Steel, and the Elite. Since then, AEW avoided mentioning the individuals involved, although last night there were some indirect references to both CM Punk and the Elite. This would occur during the segment to hype next week's AEW World Championship match between champion Jon Moxley and challenger Hangman Page, who would go back and forth on the mic last night in Toronto. The first reference would happen when Moxley was in the ring on his own, with him seemingly referring to the short-lived world title run of CM Punk, and he would note, "Being a world champion ain't all fun and games, it ain't easy. You got a target on your back, everybody wants something from you, your time, your energy. You live every day in physical pain, everybody wants to see you fall, and a lot of guys get there and they can't handle it. They crumble under the pressure and self-destruct, some faster than others." Moxley would then go on to say that he doesn't have the luxury of being anxious, which seems to be a reference to Hangman Page. However, the "some faster than others" appears to be a shot at CM Punk's media scrum after All Out. Later in the segment, Mox would then be interrupted by Hangman Page, the challenger for his title, who would then talk about both Punk and the Elite. He would state that he feels like his old friends were already gone, a reference to the absence of the Elite, before telling Moxley that if he has a problem with him, say it to his face, a line that fans feel was a shot at CM Punk, who called Hangman out unplanned on Dynamite before telling anyone who had a problem with him to speak to him in person during the media scrum, which led to the confrontation from the Elite. Page would also address Moxley, calling him a kid, again appearing to be a reference to CM Punk's claim that he is tired of working with children. As for an update on the Elite and CM Punk, we appear to be no closer to an outcome of the ongoing investigation, with Dave Meltzer noting on Wrestling Observer Radio that nothing has changed as of last night, despite AEW selling Canada-themed Elite merchandise at the show, which led to people anticipating their return last night. Of course, this didn't happen. As for Punk, we still have no update on his status, although his friend Ace Steel, who was also involved in the fight, took to Twitter to post a meme about freedom, a sign that he may have been let go from the company. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 masked AEW wrestlers unmasked.